Greetings. I'm Rodger Newbold. I'm the host for the Experience Photography's special edition video today on AI. Matt Rich, my friend and our splendid photographer from St. George, is the editor-in-chief, and he'll be looking over this and making sure I'm giving you the right information. My friend, we sure would like to hear your thoughts on AI and the piracy that's going on today with our images. What do you have for us?
This would be a cool picture of Bryce Canyon, Rodger, but it's not real.
All right. Well, friends, I want you to grab a drink, kick back, and we're going to get going on this. I'm sorry, this is a somber and important video. We have had numerous problems, and we hope to discuss this today. For the purpose of today's discussion, we are using the B definition from the dictionary for the word siege, which reads as follows: a persistent or serious attack. A creator's life has perpetually been difficult, no matter the times or seasons. First, there needs to be that flow of creative ideas mulling around in the old cranial cavity, where the fee is often arrested sleep and deprivation. Second, there is a continual desire to get those swirling ideas that are buzzing around somehow into tangible form. To construct, draw, print, sing, whatever your outlet is, there's a nagging that must be accomplished. All of the above are eager desires waiting to be entertained. The wants are most often trampled over and brushed aside by the need to do's, which accompany our daily drudgeries. We have witnessed the squashing of the arts in our schools. We are compelled to forego the humanities to undertake the, quote, necessities of life, the 3 R's, reading, writing, arithmetic. That's the curriculum. Schools have been put in charge of raising our new crop of workers in society. They must be prepared to make a living the minute that final bell rings. This model is necessary to some degree because society is broken. Broken homes that do not have 2 parents to foster growth. Broken values that now require moms to work, to pay for the boat, the newest vehicle, and all the goodies to compete with the Joneses. You have to work nose to the grindstone so we can be impressive looking. These have all become requirements. Being well-mannered, polite, and encouraged to be talented, tuned into music and arts, just seems to be unimportant today. It's all, show me the money. When one wild child shows promise in the arts and manages to get a foothold in creativity, A, it is ignored. B, it is not funded in either time nor money. Or C, it becomes Van Gogh's stepchild. It's left to the maddening survivor instinct to compete by sheer willpower. No wonder creatives are viewed as strange visitors from another planet. Managers see a hotshot they can wrangle into them and force them like a golden goose. You know, in Guy Tal's latest book, Be Extraordinary, on page 195, he says, if your primary motivation is to earn a living by your work, surely there's a better vocational choice than become a professional artist. Tal confirms there are many hurdles to jump and many hardships to endure in pursuing such a creative life. If you have the gumption and the stamina and the continued desire to do your creative thing, well, we give you a standing ovation. Just when you think you have crossed the last hurdle and swam the last stroke and endured the most piercing and difficult act, then comes the underhanded boogeyman to rob you in the slickest, most underhanded, silent manner, the AI thief. Despite everything you have accomplished, and we will agree that it's a most arduous task to accomplish these things, we find it abomination that in the scheming thugs of the world have generated a method known as scraping. This means that they're swiping the digital data out of your creative works that are posted on the internet. The EXIF, or the underlying unseen digital data, can be mined out from underneath an image, a voice recording, or anything that's on the net to generate a reasonable facsimile of your mind-boggling work. And they do it for free. Now, if that doesn't irritate you, it really should. You have bucked the world to become what you needed to be. And someone else is now profiting by stealing your identity. They become you under an assumed identity. They took the shortcut. They got the glory without any of the effort. I think we should poison the punks. Well, it's a done deal. It's been happening daily for the last few years, and now it's time to put your foot down. So we have been asked by some of our followers, just how do you combat the silent siege? We have gathered the latest data on how to accomplish the task. It will, I'm afraid, only slow the flow. As we analyze this predicament, the software underbelly is building new, faster, speedier torpedo. Your voice for new legislation and protections for your work may be the only nexus and a big hex on them. Now, both Meta and Google have begun to seek alterations in the AI debate. They are asking for moderation in unregulated, swift developments that are now taking place. The biggest current problem is enforcement on a voluntary scale. Since many individuals and corporations have absolutely no self-control, good consciousness, or simple desire to even be held responsible, they are destroying the enviable qualities of AI and its reputation. This is prompting the upcoming symposium in September 2026 on all manner of tracking, regulating, and oversight of AI. The key items that we believe must be addressed are A, intellectual property and copyright disputes over ownership. B, an attribution and authorship. C, fakes and misinformation labeling. D, global ethics, accountability, and regulation. E, artist rights, their consent, payment, and trust safeguards. And F, the controlled usage, even under academic research. Now, please feel free to let your voice be heard on these matters. There are some immediate artist interventions that you can take. Number one, registering your copyright is the legal method necessary. I emphasize necessary to invoke ownership and the rights to seek recompense for theft. Yes, you are granted immediate copyright of anything you humanly, underline, create once it is fixed in a tangible form. However, the burden of proof of when and what was created, it falls upon you. This burden of proof is all I can say is kind of difficult. You have to register with the Federal Copyright Office, and that's just to prove that you own the work published. I've done copyright registration several times now. It's been somewhat costly, but more than that, it takes a lot of time and effort to do so. But I have won the battle in court once, and I do believe it's worth it. I purposely capitalized and underlined the word humanly created. This is the catch-22 in the copyright law. Bad guys can scrape the EXIF data out from under your image, and they cannot copyright it simply because it's not humanly created, and they can't prove it. A registration date, therefore, becomes important, and this will be the factor in any legal battle. So please seek help. Go to copyright.gov, get the pamphlet, follow the steps. I know, I've done it. But this is the backbone to step number one. You may or may not wish to do it, but I'm giving you the information. Now, number two is the watermark barrier. If you use the type tool in Photoshop, select a new layer, type your notice as shown or how you want it to be, use the opacity slider to make it as invisible as you desire or as invisible as you dare, and that is the start of the watermark. Now go to Layer, flatten the image, and give it a new title name. Name, copyrighted or watermarked or mine or whatever you choose to say. Save it as a JPEG before you ever post it online. Now, you have just directed the first barbed wire barrier to scraping. The drawback, of course, is the imprint. It visually takes away from the image appeal, but it does cause some imposition to the opponent. Now, this is the easiest temporary difference. The watermark embeds the artist's identity and his information clearly into the artwork. It makes it more vexing for AI models to strip after the embedded data without some kind of detection. It essentially is your digital signature right into the artwork, either online or printed. Yes, it can be defeated, but it gives them notice that they are crooked underbelly and are stealing. Always be conscious not to post full resolution images. Never post a TIFF or any other high-res pictures. Never allow permission in the privacy control dialog box where it asks permission to use for AI training. Training? Yeah, they're training it to steal. If you agree, anything you do to prevent theft becomes null and void. You just sunk your own battleship. You fired the own torpedo on yourself. Now, cloaking your artwork or fully poisoning your artwork. You can watch the full TEDx talk here, and I'll have Matt put up this URL, youtube.com, watch, all that. I advise you at some point to go watch it. The short, or maybe the more concise answer, is to utilize software that has been developed by the University of Chicago. Dr. Heather Zhang articulates the reason for cloaking and poisoning and how their team came up with the software. Now, two approaches are available. They're known as Glaze and the Nightshade software packages. They're free to use, but they're a tad bit involved to get an invitation to do so. Greg Nigg of Proton recommends their use in his February 9th, 2026 essay on artwork theft, as does Melissa Hikalia in the MIT Technology Review dated November 21, 2024. The software attempts to protect the images from AI and their scraping by using specialized pixel cloaking that will block website crawlers. Now, no method is 100% foolproof. These software packages give creators right now the highest level of protection currently available. Glaze adds a subtle, invisible pixel change to the mask your personal style. It makes it so that AI models cannot accurately learn to copy. Nightshade poisons the image with pixels so that the AI scraper misinterprets the content. Where you may show a horse in a field, it thinks it's seeing a brown bag on a blanket. And that is a cool thing. It causes great disruption to AI. Both of these software procedures must be run and implemented into your artwork prior to posting it anywhere. That forces you to go to great lengths for your own protection. Now, we have found that there are other deterrents available. But these, in my study, seem to be the most recommended. The conclusion here, there are methods to combat data theft and its copying, but you really must be on the ball and totally aware in all cases. I mean, you got to be searching the net to check it out. The buttheads, putting it civilly, are everywhere in life. They will scam any easy target. I hope that we have accomplished the goal of our viewers. We enjoy participating with you. We enjoy the endeavors of photography. And we're saddened that we are obligated to interrupt our joy to fight against an unseen bandit. Your voice in advocating for AI reform is needed. A well-placed editorial letter, or maybe a million complaints to a congressperson, and simply just taking a stern stand really is necessary to get this ball rolling. Now, we hate to sound militant, but we will. But we didn't start the war, and we don't appreciate the passive attitude everybody is taking to theft directly from the artist. Now, not to end on a sour note and all this bad news, I'm going to inject a little bit of humor for today. Take a look at this cartoon. Oh, honey, I bought another lens. Well, folks, our time has elapsed. Thanks for hanging in there with us. Thanks for listening to my rant and rave on this. I hope that you like it, and I hope you give us a big thumbs up. Please add your comments. Let us know your thoughts. How can we help you? How can we be of a service? We're always trying to offer a group of suggestions that will extend your creative choices wisely. We hope you find success in all of your accomplishment. Remember, if it costs you peace, it's just way too expensive. Matt and I salute you. Thanks for watching. Thanks for building value into our channel. I hope this helps. I hope that we have done something or can do something that will stop this piracy against ourselves. Thanks for now. I hope that you get something from this. Cheerio.